Hello whisky lovers, this is Jock from Scotch and Folk, with the first time a video in English. As you all know, I've been doing them all in Dutch until so far, because today I have a dear friend of mine, Iain Stewart, with us, and Iain is a tour operator who does loads and loads of whisky tours in Scotland, and today we're going to talk about whisky distilleries and about the effect of whisky distilleries and what makes people buy whiskies or not. So welcome, Iain.
Oh, welcome, Jock. Thanks for inviting me along.
Hey, can I offer you a dram of anything?
Hi.
I've got some of the Diageo basic stuff on the rack here, or I could give you a Tullyburden on a port finish, or I've got Glendronach's 15-year-old, the Revival, sherried.
Well, you know that I like heavily sherried whiskies, Jock, so I'm drawn to the Glendronach.
The Glendronach it is. Nay bother. So, that lovely sound. We'll have a gram of the Glendronach.
Thank you.
And as you know, with sherried whisky, it does tend to take a little bit more water than the bourbon matured ones. Look at that lovely colour in it, eh? You can see that it's been in the sherry butts for a while. It's got a lovely creamy nose to it. And a wee bit of water. I'll just...
Alright, please.
There you go. A wee bit of water will just bring the smell of it out. Lovely buttery creamy smell to it, and that Oloroso sherry, just single fill sherry, fresh sherry butts. Mmm. Well, slange, Iain, slange. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about for our viewers is the effect of whisky distilleries on the selling of whisky, because loads and loads of people are going to Scotland nowadays on holidays, and many of them take package tours with your company, Serenity Scotland, and you'll get to a distillery and some people will act different from others. Could you tell us something about that? What's it like?
Well, as you know yourself, Jock, having done quite a few tours yourself, the process of making whisky, there's a lot of similarities in the process from distillery to distillery, and often it's about what makes a distillery distinctive. You know, why go to one distillery? You know, once you've been to one distillery, why go to another distillery?
Yeah.
And there's different ways of approaching, I think, distilleries and the distillery visit. But I think the best ones that I've been on have had a real appreciation of the fact that for the people going to the distillery, they might want to understand about how to make whisky. They might want to understand particular details about the whisky, but they also are there because it's an event. It's something that they want to actually do as part of their vacation time, their holiday time. And they want to be informed, but also they want to be entertained, and they want to meet people, and they want to be part of the culture, actually to become part of the culture for the time that they're actually at the distillery. Okay.
And in your experience, what are some of the nicest distilleries that you've been to?
Well, I would highlight a particular favourite that we did together, which was Aberlour.
Yeah.
I can remember that one. It was a few years back now.
With Swedish people?
With this group from Sweden, yeah, I think it was in 2005, and we were there, and a particular guide there, Dennis, really entertained as well, and you'll remember the stories probably better than I have. You've got better memory for these stories, but I remember one about the German biker lady who in leather she fell into the...
Oh, the wash spilled all over her, and her boyfriend licked it all off of her leathers.
Anyway, enough of that one. And the good thing about Aberlour, and the good thing about the way that Dennis approaches it, is that A, he's really friendly. B, he really loves whisky, and he obviously really loves his job, and that comes through in what he does as well. And he makes people feel involved, makes people feel included.
Okay. And I was wondering, you sometimes get distilleries when you go in and there's like a lady filing her nails behind the desk as you go in, and is disinterested in
Yeah.
you. And we won't name any names.
Yeah.
But we know them.
Yeah.
We know these distilleries. There's one in particular on the island of Islay, and some of the girls they look like beautiful photographic models, and
Yeah.
they're like part of the lovely scenery. It's all polished and lovely, and then you've got other distilleries like Bruichladdich on Islay that where they don't only give you a look around the distillery, but they treat you almost like family. They're very nice to you. In your experience, does that influence people's buying of the whisky?
Very much, very much. I mean, I can think of two just offhand from what you've said that where there's been a bit of an offhand approach. It's just not a very welcoming approach going into the distillery, and they've been larger distillers, more corporate kind of ventures. And it does put people off. One, we went in and I went in with a group and we just walked out again. We walked around the shop, didn't buy anything, just walked out. And not only did they not get any purchases from the shop, but it also influenced the people who were within my group, their view of that particular whisky. And that's you know, it really is about being an ambassador, promoting the whisky, and whoever is actually, you know, at the visitor centre, whoever is actually doing the tour, whoever is greeting the people is really important in terms of the overall brand image.
Yeah.
And I would say that some of the other larger concerns, some of which are very, very corporate in their approach as well, still manage to do very well in terms of actually making you feel at home there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one I can think of on Islay where there was Lafroig, as it happens. We went into Lafroig, and the gentleman there just could not have been more friendly, and made it was a different group I was with, made them feel very much part of things,
Mm-hmm.
introduced them to different whiskies, and he was very much put himself into the product.
Okay.
So although it was a large concern, he really had the people skills, and I think that was important. And the people I was with were left with a good impression of the whisky, and they also bought whisky there as well.
So it's not only a matter of presenting your product well, but it's also a matter of being interested in the people that have come to visit you.
Yeah, very much so, very much. And taking pride and a sense of ownership over your particular part in the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you got any new tours coming up this year, Iain?
Yeah, I'm doing various tours in Scotland. I've got a 2-week tour in Scotland, which will take in some of the Islay distilleries. I'm going to be up in Skye, and I'm going to be going right up to Wick, and I'll be going to Old Pulteney, which you know well, and it's something we both share, a whisky we both love, and not an expensive whisky either.
No, lovely, good value for money, Old Pulteney.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be an experience up in the northeast coast.
Yeah, and I'm going over to Ireland for 2 weeks, so who knows what that will portend.
Okay, and you've had a little inquiry from the Dutch Whisky Society as well, eh?
Yeah, this very morning we've been looking at that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time now, and well, to all of our viewers, if you want to look up Iain's website, it's www.serenityscotland.co.uk, or look at the information on this video, and I'll have it up there. You can just click on it and go straight to his website. And until the next time, whisky lovers, slán siva.
Slán siva.
Slán siva.
Slán siva.